is yet of which Vivajana by cutting off. Although medicinal herb being born in the forest does not belong to the same category as the male. If beneficial, it is kept very carefully. Similarly, if someone outside one's family is favorable, he should be given protection like a son. On the other hand, if a limb of one's body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so that the rest of the body may live happily. Similarly, even one's own son, if unfavorable, must be rejected, although born of one's own body. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed all devotees of the Lord to be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than trees. Otherwise, there will always be disturbances to their execution of devotional service. Here is a vivid example of how a devotee is disturbed by a non-devotee, even though the non-devotee is an affectionate father. The material world is such that a non-devotee father becomes an enemy of a devotee son. Having determined to kill even his son, Hiranyakashipu gave the example of amputating a part of one's body that has become septic and therefore injurious to the rest of the body. The same example, of course, may also be applied to non-devotees. Chanakya Pandit advises Taja Durjana Samsaragam Bhaja Sadhu Samagamam. Devotees actually serious about advancing spiritual life should give up the company of non-devotees and always keep company with devotees. To be too attached to material existence is ignorance, because material existence is temporary and miserable. Therefore, devotees who are determined to perform tapasya, penances, and austerities to realize the self, and who are determined to become advanced in spiritual consciousness must give up the company of atheistic non-devotees. Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father, Hiranyakashipu, yet he was tolerant and humble. Hiranyakashipu, however, being a non-devotee, was so polluted that he was even prepared to kill his own son. He justified this by putting forward the logic of amputation. Please repeat me translation after me. Although a medicinal herb being born in the forest does not belong to the same category as a man. A beneficial, it is kept very carefully. Similarly, if someone outside one's family is favorable, it should be given protection like a son. On the other hand, if a limbs of one body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so that the rest of the body may live happily. Similarly, even one's own son, if unfavorable, must be rejected,
If unfavorable, must be rejected,
although born of one's own body.
although born of one's own body.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मयि स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतात्मकमलं श्रीगुरो नमांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातमहं साधुर्भावसुतं परिष्णं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सगण श्री विशाखा विकास नमो शुभदा कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे धन्यवादी पाठ नमो महावतन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदाय ते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नमः गौर हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु गोपेश गोपिका कांता तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. I'm seeking the blessings of all the devotees, especially Sri Muktananda Prabhu and other Vaishnavas, so that can bless me so that I can speak on this words to glorify the Lord for purification. So here, last two, three verses are very nice. Just look to that. So here when already Akaratan Prabhu briefly completely covered the whole session, and last Sunday we were sharing that how uh, two times Hiranyakashipu approached asked Prahlad Maharaj, what is learned from your teachers? So first time he told that one should go to the forest and worship Lord Vishnu. And second time he told that uh, practice of 9 process of devotional service. And then again he continues the verses that one should bathe in the dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnava, then he can become purified. Otherwise, there is no hope for him. And after then, so after Prahlad Maharaj speaking, so many verses, very good, beautiful verses for the night. Then he became silent, and Hiranyakashipu, blinded by anger, threw him off his lap and went onto the ground. So these are the verses that Hiranyakashipu is quoting. That as we know that Hiranyakashipu is already very nice understanding of philosophy. So, but using philosophy in a wrong way, we can learn from this. So here also is giving one nice philosophy. So, a whole series of this Bhagavatam started with the question, that the Parishad Maharaj is asking question to Sukadeva Goswami. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj also questions to the Narada Muni that although the normally we see that the one become enemy of a person who is always against the way person, against the person. But what kind of, because Prahlad Maharaj qualities are very beautiful qualities are mentioned. So Prahlad Maharaj having so many wonderful qualities, and although the son of Hiranyakashipu, how come what kind of person is become enemies of such a great son? So, so related to that question, the Narad Muni spoke the so many, this whole the chapter. So therefore the answer came here that although the Hiranyakashipu, there are four, uh, he is having the four sons. Among them, it is mentioned that Prahlad is the best. So there are so many beautiful qualities of Prahlad Maharaj having. Why? But he was Hiranyakashipu's enemy of the Prahlad Maharaj. So here this that answer is coming there because Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee of the Lord Vishnu. So because he was a devotee of the Lord Vishnu, and although he was very affectionate to his father also. So there, but still the demon who are like always the enemies of Vaishnavas, always the enemies of the Supreme Lord, they don't like this kind. So therefore, uh, here it is mentioned that. So here it is mentioned this purport also was mentioning that the devotee should be very careful. He is quoting actually. Prabhupada is quoting this verse and this purport that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Pranadapi Sunitana Sarvareva Saishuna Aman Namandan Kirtanishadara. The devotee has to be more humble and tolerant. Why? Because this whole world is full of the envious persons. Because in the Kali Yuga, you know that the in Kali Yuga the qualities, disqualification we can say that Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi. So these are the so unfortunate persons are there. They're always in a they're always in anxiety. They're always disturbed, always in the mind. So therefore they don't like the things which are like again giving them trouble. So although the devotees wanted to do benefit for everyone in the society, so devotee wanted to give Krishna conscious to everyone, but still the people are so much disturbed. Those who are not liking this Krishna conscious, we see that we get so many practical examples. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says that in example that although the devotees initial days in Krishna in Chopati days, we are sharing that there are some devotees who comes in the class, they like this philosophy so much, they like this kirtan so much, they like all the aspect in Krishna consciousness very much. So, but the same kind of philosophy, same kind of kirtan, same kind of activity in Krishna consciousness, other people does not like. So they always disturb. So you are sharing that after once after giving Sunday feast Bhagavad Sunday feast class, and he just went outside of the temple to visit to see meet all the devotees. And suddenly one person from neighborhood came, sorry, and one person from neighborhood came and started shouting, and he's telling that because of your sound is so coming so much, you are polluting the whole atmosphere by your sound. Although the sound is a favorable sound, Krishna conscious sound. In Shastra, it is mentioned that this when the devotees are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, this sound is making purify all the places. When they are raising the hand, they are purifying the upper planetary system. When they are doing kirtan, they are purifying all the lower planetary system, and when they are doing dancing, when they are doing dancing, and they are doing chanting, all the nearby people, the non-living entities or living entities, everyone is become purified. But here, the person who are like not liking, those are against or enemies of the Vaishnavas, they said because of your sound is polluting the whole atmosphere, sound pollution, and therefore they complain. And therefore we know that the time for Mangal Aarti has got changed from Chavadi temple, and therefore uh, so many uh, restrictions also came. Sound should be very low in the morning, and this thing. So these are the things that people does not like. Similarly, here also we see many times we do kirtan. Many people like, but many people does not like also. And those who does not like, they always create disturbances for that those devotees like. So therefore, devotees develop these qualities, especially when we effort. It is just that we have to develop this quality for our own purification. But still, as we are practicing Krishna consciousness here, Prabhu was writing the context of because Prahlad Maharaj was having this quality. Prahlad Maharaj was, although Hiranyakashipu was his father, but he was envious of Prahlad Maharaj. And the opposite of that, Prahlad Maharaj was non-envious of Hiranyakashipu. What is speak of non-envious? He was always wanted to do good for him. He was always wanted to share what is good for everyone. So still the Hiranyakashipu is envious of Prahlad Maharaj. So therefore, Prabhupada by taking this context for writing here that devotee should develop this quality of humility and uh, this tolerance, so that they can go on distributing Krishna consciousness everywhere. Because till the time of creation, as we see that this Satya Yuga is going on, that day, Acharya Prabhu nicely explained what is the difference between those days in Satya Yuga and what is the difference between now these days in Kali Yuga. Is which is the situation is more favorable, what the time of Hiranyakashipu or what the time of now. Of course, we understood that this kind of Kali Yuga situation is more favorable at the time when Hiranyakashipu was there, because no one is able to change the holy name of the Lord. And what to speak of chanting, even some little he got inked and he has to get punishment. But here still places are there where we can freely chant, where we can freely distribute Krishna consciousness and we can benefit other society. But still, these things is always there from the time of creation, where some peoples are very favorable, some are very against. So therefore, the devotee has to be develop this quality of humility and tolerance and go on distributing Krishna consciousness to everyone with non-envious to any living entity. So these are one most important highlighting. Prabhupada is mentioning the purpose. Second thing also Prabhupada is mentioning that really here two, three times Prabhupada is mentioned, three times at least I can remember that in two lines. Prabhupada is saying that the same example, what Hiranyakashipu is saying that because if some limb of the body get disease, the better to that part of the body is to be cut off. The same example, of course, may be also applied to non-Jews who are writing. Chanakya Pandit advice. Taja Durjam Samsaragam Vaja Sadhu Samagam. So Prabhupada there two times mentioning it. Devotees are seriously practicing Krishna consciousness about advancing spiritual life should give the company of non-devotees and always keep company with devotees. And again, clarity. Those devotees are determined to perform tapasya and penance and to realize the self, and who are determined to become advanced in spiritual consciousness must give up the company of atheistic non-devotees. The two line, Prabhupada is telling so many highlighted points. How the devotees are very determined in practicing Krishna consciousness. Why Prabhupada is highlighting? Not only here, so many places Prabhupada is mentioning that one should give up the company of non-devotees. Because as we know that uh, the the you are saying that the same feather fly together, birds of same feather fly together. So devotees are called in the Bhagavatam as like Hamsa. They are like they go in such a very beautiful lake where the serene lake is there, lotus flowers are there. Means they are comparing as a lotus flower and serene atmosphere is there, where the discussion of Krishna Katha and discussion of holy name and association of Vaishnava, these activities are happening. So that place is called as the where the beautiful lake where the lotus flowers are there. Where the non-devotees is compared to like a crow. There are those crows who always look into the go to the garbage. So in a beautiful garden, so many beautiful flowers are there. So still, the crow will find such a place where one corner some dustbins are kept and some uh, sticky things are being kept there, and so the crows go there and take and they enjoy. So non-duties are like that. What are this as compared to the crow take the garbage means? The non-duties they only discuss a topic which are related to material life. Material life relations means topic of sense gratification, especially the how to enjoy life, how to earn money, how to enjoy life, and how to uh, be. Anyways, so many discussion happen in material life about politics, about sports, which are like called as garbage. So therefore, devotee don't wanted to associate with them. But the devotee always looking for those kind of association where he get the nectarian uh, when nectarian holy name, like katha, everything. So the devotees come together and discuss. So these are the most important. Therefore, throughout many places mentioning this aspect that the devotee should not associate with such kind of people, those who are not Krishna consciousness, because it will it will spoil our whole Krishna consciousness. Because the degree, whatever little faith we have developed in our Krishna consciousness, if we go and associate with them, so that faith also will be shaken. So therefore, the devotees always in the mood of increasing more and more our faith strong, making more and more faith strong in Krishna consciousness. So therefore, Prabhupada is mentioning as that the devotees are very determined and devotees are very wanted to make advancement in Krishna consciousness should avoid the association of non-devotees. And again, Prabhupada is taking this quality of Prahlad Maharaj. So I think Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father. So for the Prahlad Maharaj, there was no option, as you already discussed in many classes before, that Prahlad Maharaj was the only person in whole uh, where the whole kingdom of Hiranyakashipu was there, he's a devotee. So for him, there is no question that he physically will not be present there. He has to be there. He has to go to school. He has to be in the home. So everywhere he find there he find the non-devotees because no discussion of Krishna Katha was there, and everyone is discussing about the politics, about the Hiranyakashipu's day and everything. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father. So he does not like the philosophy which he was getting that was teaching by Sadan Amarkar that about someone is friend, someone is enemy. So he does not like this philosophy, and therefore he maintained, and therefore he not uh, cooperate whatever the Hiranyakashipu was saying. That opposite of that, Prahlad Maharaj was always giving him good advice, became telling him to become a good devotee of the Lord. So Hiranyakashipu does not like this, and therefore however, being a non-devotee, he was so polluted that he was even prepared to kill his own son. He justified this by putting forward the logic of amputation. So Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude. Therefore, you can see that how the Hiranyakashipu became his enemy, and he always wanted to Of course, before that, he was not knowing much, but now onwards, his attempts to kill Prahlad Maharaj in different ways began. But Prahlad Maharaj never ever we find that he just remained unshackled for any little things, any biggest thing we can say. He always remained faithful toward the Lord Vishnu and the devotees. So therefore, we can learn from this quality of Prahlad Maharaj how that Prahlad Maharaj never wanted to be associated with such kind of people, those who are always against speaking about against the Krishna consciousness, or those who are diverting his focus on anything other than Krishna. So devotee should be always very careful that is that my whole day I'm spending, is that my whole day is helping me to make advancement in Krishna consciousness or helping me to become more and more diverted from Krishna consciousness. Because we know that Prabhupada says that the Krishna consciousness and sense division go in together. So they cannot go in the same, like one leg putting the Krishna consciousness, the one leg for the sense division. So not possible. So therefore, uh, like we have come for morning forum and we with devotees, but we go out, then we behave like them. That is not helping us to make grow in Krishna consciousness. So whichever place may be, either here in company or in college, we should always be remain in a very whole Krishna consciousness. So from Prahlad Maharaj we can learn that he not he not ready to accept the philosophy of Hiranyakashipu, but he ready to give his own philosophy to whoever he meet. As soon as he get time, from the when the teachers go out, then Prahlad Maharaj started speaking about the Krishna Katha. And by association with Prahlad Maharaj, all his friends they become a devotee of the. As you see all the demons friends, then they become devotee. So we can see that how we can from from our side, if we remain nicely in Krishna consciousness and helping others, even the whole atmosphere also then will also become the devotee. So therefore, just of course many things are there, but here Prabhupada is highlighting 2 points. One is that the devotee develop the good qualities of humility and tolerance, so that the he will not become disturbed to in his own spiritual life when he see that the other envious person they are creating problems in their spiritual life. Because as we have to live in a society, as we not that we have to go to the forest because we have to give the message of Krishna to all over the world. So if we go to forest, then it's okay. Then no living entities are there. Then the Radhana Sai Maharaj said that the animals they are living in the forest, they are like more than the city in the we can see that the concrete jungles in the cities. So therefore the forests are more. But devotees to live in the places where there's so much this sense delusion is happening. Is live the big cities in America, all these things. So he has to keep himself very nicely Krishna consciousness by practicing sincerely, and he has to help others also to give Krishna consciousness to everyone. So therefore, these qualities are very much important to what Prahlad Maharaj in his life applied in, and then he is helping others also. Similarly, association. Association of devotee is the most important. As we know that the among all the 64 limbs of this 64 items of the devotional paths, Rupa Goswami path is given. Five are the most important. And among all the five, this one is come the topmost association. So this is the most important association of Vaishnavas. So when we associate the devotees, then we can make a nice advancement in Krishna consciousness. Then we'll be good helping us to remain nicely in Krishna consciousness and to give Krishna to others. Otherwise, if we associate with the non-devotees, then we ourselves become very polluted in our Krishna consciousness and we become disturbed. So therefore, these two things are twice very highlighting from the Prahlad Maharaj, this contest of qualities. I just end here only. If someone has any comment or any some question, we can 2 3 minutes are there till the time conscious will below. Yes, please. Till the time conscious will Shri Radha Gopinath Temple. Initial Radha Gopinath Temple in Chopati.
People playing, the government playing their time with and the Krishna, the God, Chaitanya, that is true.
Mm.
Is,
So this kind of people are always there. Those who don't like, by seeing the devotees are very happy, nicely, and like many times you see, na, through our time also, when he used to see that the neighbors person they are working very hard, neighbors to see that the devotees don't work anything, and they have so many cars in the temple, and they're nicely enjoying the prasadam, and they're happily dancing everything. By seeing them, the other people will become enemies of them, and therefore they will create so many disturbances.
oh, that's the bad about the class and they can come live with
They come to, but they don't like this. Okay.
very nice class. The takeaways from one is when I thought they would be constant discussion
Mm.
that atmosphere is something the gathering of swans, whereas result has so gathering fruits.
Mm.
So that was a very nice. And then one point is when I have one question. You mentioned every day a devotee should introspect and analyze, am I going closer to Krishna or am I getting diverted from Krishna consciousness? So how can we do that every day practically, analyze and then readjust our life every single day? Any practical tips?
Practical tips. You just know, like today, okay, today how my day went in Krishna consciousness. Either I utilize my time, actually it depends on time, like to whom I'm giving more time. Of course, those who are studying, but their studies also is become Krishna conscious when they give proper time to for their sadhana and their morning forum. So to whom I'm giving more time, if there suppose I have time, and then is that I'm that utilizing time my reading scriptures or contemplating, hearing lectures, all these things, or utilizing my time in just roaming here and there, or just eating or sleeping. That. Of course, in devotees also circle so much we get time. How that time I'm utilizing, that also tells us that how we are seriously practicing Krishna consciousness. So this can make understand. And what is being of association of non-duty, that is the like goes to the wrong direction only. Because approach.
I think, yeah, there is in the non-devotee, there is a category for devotees who are not falling for believers. If you have who needs to be again, but otherwise, we try to even when they believe in that. And then it actually it really helps us our reviews. Somebody who sees it also, they practice on to people, they have to safeguard their reviews. So the general person knows that you give it to me. And he has done service to the temple, he uses something like that. That's like you have to be very careful about certain things. Otherwise, this our institution will at some point of time we have very different. Of course, we have to compassionate by encouraging others, but make sure that how we have to somehow engage others. That's it. But at the same time, we have to also make sure that how we say that our devotion, now we don't permit the wrong practices and also wrongdoings of anybody. This was very important. And do not think ourselves to be like very good in understanding of philosophy. We know somebody else nice. Okay, we just we know somebody else. Do not because this will tell you that people have this tendency, and we have to know that something which actually they are there in a way, and if they might do some wrong ways. We have to know that how and sometimes people do have higher picture. If the person who is having a higher picture, if they are doing something, then one should actually make sure that how we don't cause any disturbance to for any any actions to that is very careful. We have to understand. So this is actually this kind of understanding that people generally lack. Okay, that's very unfortunate. And we have favoritism. And also people generally have, one kind of a mentality that they always have, okay, this person is always wrong. This person, because his authority, he is bad, he is nasty, he is this. This kind of like a mentality should have, then it is, it doesn't matter how long, whether you are, how many years you will be here. If you carry this kind of things, like, what kind of devotion will be like? It is, that is not, see, when, you should not judge on this way, that just because, he's sitting on that one, like, he is just simply bad. Because we have to very, very careful. We have to see that it's not that, like, we have to understand ultimately this organization is Srila Prabhupada. It's called. Srila Prabhupada said that, and we have to safeguard this cause. Very, very important. It is important. What we are going to give as a legacy to our next generation. These kind of things, what we are going to do. Very careful. Very careful. This has to be. I understand that. Like, I know some people may be more mature, have seen many years, maybe like, many years they have done that. At the same time, I have to make sure how we do not actually force them wrong. Because we are not all knowing. We are not all knowing. We do not know everything. We are not omniscient. Some people may understand, some people may have insights into some other aspect. Okay, so that's why we have to take into what it taking the context of all those things, and then take mechanism. The best things is that let everybody who has their responsibility, let them do that. If in the our when we say not when we ask somebody what is I think that even around the groups also we have to be careful with whom we have to go. With whom this is very, very important. I'm not saying that we should hate anyone. Please do not get me wrong. And we should try to minimize it. But at the same time, we have to also make sure that among the community, that who should actually we should associate with. Otherwise, it is very bad. It's like this is one point which I just why there was extra things. But I did it.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Whoever comes out of the mouth is
श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। Thank you.